My daughter hijacked my mother's funeral and screamed I owed her $27,600 in front of 74 mourners. She had no idea I had the bank footage. November 16th, 2024, 11:07 a.m. Grace Covenant Church, Decatur, Georgia. The smell of stargazer lilies and old hymnals hangs thick in the sanctuary. 74 people sit in oak pews, programs trembling in their hands. I'm standing near the front row in my pressed navy suit, staring at the closed casket of my mother, Dorothy Mae Calloway. I haven't slept in 3 days. My daughter Jenna approaches the podium. She unfolds a piece of paper, and instead of a eulogy, she reads an invoice. But I need to go back, way back. I grew up on Glenwood Avenue in Decatur, the second of my mother's 2 children. My older sister Patricia was the planner. I was the dreamer. Mom worked 31 years as an administrative assistant at DeKalb County Public Schools, retiring in 2009 on a pension of $2,340 a month. She was the kind of woman who kept a garden that the whole block admired. Roses, mostly. Knockout reds and Mr. Lincolns lining her chain-link fence. Every Saturday morning, she was out there with her pruning shears before the dew burned off. I joined Delta Airlines in 1996 as a first officer on the MD-88. By 2004, I was a captain flying the 767 on transatlantic routes. The job paid well. I peaked at $289,000 in 2022. But it devoured time in the way only aviation can. 4-day trips, red-eyes, mandatory rest periods in hotel rooms in Amsterdam and Sao Paulo, while my daughter's school plays happened without me. My marriage to Jenna's mother, Denise Roper, ended in 2003 when Jenna was 6. The divorce was clean on paper. I paid $1,850 a month in child support without missing a single payment for 12 years. But Denise carried a quiet bitterness that seeped into Jenna like rainwater through foundation cracks. "Your father chose the clouds over you," became a bedtime story. I tried. I set up a 529 college savings plan in 2007 with $42,000 that covered Jenna's first 2 years at Georgia State. I flew home on standby passes for her 8th grade graduation, her 16th birthday, her prom. I missed others. Her sophomore dance recital in 2011. Christmas 2014, when a snowstorm grounded my crew in Minneapolis. Her college move-in day in August 2015. Each absence became a line item in Jenna's mental ledger, and she never stopped counting. By 2020, Jenna was 25, working part-time as a leasing agent at a property management company in Marietta and dating Tyler Briggs. 28, gym manager at an Anytime Fitness franchise. Tyler had charm and debt in equal measure. A $19,000 balance on 2 credit cards and a leased Dodge Charger he couldn't really afford. Jenna's resentment toward me became a shared currency between them. Something Tyler learned to spend. Mom was diagnosed with stage 4 pancreatic cancer in June 2024. She entered hospice care at Emory Decatur Hospital on September 22nd. I took a leave of absence from Delta the same week. Didn't think twice. Didn't check the schedule. Just called crew scheduling and said, "I'm done for now." During those final weeks, I barely left her room. I read to her. I adjusted her morphine pump when the nurses said I could. Patricia visited every other day, handling the legal housekeeping. Power of attorney, banking access, the will. Everything documented. Everything notarized. Patricia Calloway Webb, 57, certified notary for 19 years. She didn't cut corners. Not once. But something shifted. Jenna, who had visited Mom maybe 4 times the entire year, suddenly started appearing at the hospital daily in early October. She brought flowers. She asked about Mom's paperwork. She lingered near the bedside table where Mom kept her banking folder. Patricia noticed, but said nothing. Not yet. On October 9th, 2024, Mom was on a continuous morphine drip, largely unresponsive. Her eyes would flutter open sometimes, but she wasn't really there anymore. That same afternoon, a withdrawal transaction cleared at the First National Bank branch on East Ponce de Leon Avenue. A certificate of deposit worth $38,700. Mom's entire emergency nest egg, built over 19 years of $150 monthly contributions, cashed out. And 5 weeks later, standing at her grandmother's funeral, Jenna had the nerve to talk about money. The memorial service runs smoothly for the first 40 minutes. The choir sings, "His Eye is on the Sparrow." Pastor Elaine Chambers, a small woman with a voice that fills every corner of a room, reads from Psalms. Patricia delivers a 3-minute remembrance about Mom's garden, her lemon pound cake, her stubborn insistence on handwriting every thank you note. People nod. People dab their eyes. It feels like the kind of goodbye Mom deserved. Then, Jenna walks to the podium. She's wearing a black wrap dress and holding a single folded sheet of paper. I assume it's a poem, maybe a memory from childhood, something about the roses. Instead, Jenna smooths the paper flat, looks directly at me in the front pew, and begins reading. March 2005, my 7th birthday. He was in London. Value, $400. Her voice is steady, rehearsed. December 2008, Christmas morning. He was in Detroit. Value, $600. She lists 17 occasions across 22 years, assigning a dollar figure to each one. The amounts range from $200 for a missed soccer game to $3,200 for her college graduation dinner I attended 2 hours late. The total, which she announces with the precision of an accountant closing a quarterly report, $27,600. The sanctuary goes dead silent. A woman in the 3rd row closes her program and presses it to her chest. Pastor Chambers half stands from her chair behind the pulpit. 74 people hold their breath. I can hear the ceiling fans. Jenna folds the paper. That's what his absence cost. And Grandma Dorothy knew it too. I don't move for a full 6 seconds. Patricia, sitting to my left, grips my forearm. Her fingernails press half moons into my skin. I can feel her shaking. Not from sadness, from fury held on a leash. I stand slowly, button my jacket, walk to the podium. Jenna is still standing there, chin lifted, waiting for the reaction she's been rehearsing in her bathroom mirror for a week. Jenna. My voice is low. The cockpit calm that 28 years of flying into thunderstorms teaches a man. Sit down. No, you don't get to dismiss me again. Not here. This is your grandmother's funeral. These people came to honor her. And you came to play the good son. Same act, different stage. Patricia stands now. Jenna, that is enough. You are in the Lord's house and your grandmother is 10 feet from you. Aunt Patricia, this isn't about you. It became about me the moment you decided to turn my mother's homegoing into a courtroom. The silence that follows is worse than the shouting. I look at my daughter. Really look. And I see Denise's anger wrapped in Tyler's entitlement. Tyler is sitting 4 rows back, arms crossed, watching like a man checking the score of a game he bet on. I step back from the podium. I don't argue. I don't defend. I reach into the inside pocket of my suit jacket and remove a single folded printout. Letter-sized, black and white. I have carried it for 11 days, waiting for something I hoped would never happen, but suspected would. I place it face up on the podium's wooden surface, directly on top of Jenna's itemized list. I was going to handle this privately. My voice cracks for the first time, not from weakness, from the weight of what my own daughter made me do in front of my mother's casket. But since you chose the podium, I'll meet you here. I don't explain the printout. Not yet. I walk back to my pew, sit down, fold my hands. Jenna glances down at it. I watch her face change. The confidence drains out of her like someone pulled a plug. Her lips part. She looks at Tyler. Tyler doesn't move. Patricia approaches the podium. She picks up both papers, the itemized list and the printout. She turns to the congregation. I'm going to ask Pastor Chambers to close us in prayer. The family will address this matter privately. Thank you all for honoring my mother. Her voice is iron, wrapped in velvet.
Nobody questions it. Pastor Chambers steps forward and begins praying. People bow their heads. Patricia walks back to the front pew carrying both documents pressed flat against her chest. After the service, 3 people hug me without saying a word. That says more than anything Jenna read from her list. But by Monday morning, the document I placed on that podium had already reached the DeKalb County District Attorney's office. It started 3 weeks before the funeral, October 14th. Patricia was sitting at Mom's kitchen table on Glenwood Avenue, reviewing her accounts at First National Bank to prepare the estate filing. She had a stack of statements, a yellow legal pad, and a cup of coffee that went cold before she touched it. That's when she spotted the transaction, a $38,700 certificate of deposit, cashed on October 9th. The withdrawal slip bore Dorothy's signature. But Patricia had notarized Mom's power of attorney documents on September 30th. She knew Mom's handwriting the way a jeweler knows a setting. Every trimmer, every leftward lean that had worsened after her 2019 stroke. The signature on that withdrawal slip was too smooth, too confident. Wrong. Patricia contacted the bank's fraud investigation unit on October 16th. Branch manager Gerald Hayes pulled the security camera footage from October 9th. Timestamp, 2:47 p.m. The footage showed Jenna at the teller window, alone, sliding the withdrawal slip and Mom's ID across the counter. My daughter, cashing out my mother's life savings while my mother lay 7 miles away at Emory Decatur Hospital on a morphine drip she'd never come off of. Patricia then reached out to Ray Okonkwo, forensic document examiner, 14 years at the Georgia Bureau of Investigation, now in private practice in Atlanta. She couriered the original withdrawal slip, 3 known samples of Mom's handwriting, and 1 other document, a lease application Tyler Briggs had co-signed for Jenna's apartment in Marietta back in 2023. Ray's analysis took 8 days. His 14-page report, delivered October 27th, concluded with 99.2% confidence. The signature on the withdrawal slip was not Dorothy Mae Calloway's. The letter formations, pin pressure, and baseline slant matched Tyler Briggs's handwriting on the lease application. Tyler forged it. Jenna carried it into the bank. Jenna didn't know any of this. In the weeks before the funeral, she doubled down on her narrative. She posted on Instagram a photo of herself at Mom's bedside with the caption, "She understood what it meant to be abandoned. Rest easy, Grandma." It got 213 likes. She called me twice. Both times she brought up Mom's will, asking whether the house on Glenwood Avenue had been discussed. I recorded both calls. Georgia is a one-party consent state. On the second call, November 8th, Jenna said something that would later appear in the prosecutor's filing. Grandma told me she wanted me to have the house. She said it before she got too sick to talk. Mom hadn't been able to speak since September 28th. Patricia's medical log confirmed it. Tyler, meanwhile, made a mistake that wasn't even clever enough to call a mistake. On October 23rd, he deposited $14,200 into his personal checking account at Wells Fargo, a chunk of the $38,700, and immediately paid down $11,800 of his credit card balance. The digital trail was a straight line from a dying woman's savings account to a gym manager's Visa bill. Jenna orchestrated the funeral speech. She told Tyler it would force Marcus to settle. She believed the public shame would make me write a check to make it all go away. She had no idea that the man she was trying to humiliate had spent 3 weeks quietly building a case with the patience of someone who lands 767s in crosswinds for a living. On November 3rd, Patricia and I met with Wanda Osei, elder law specialist, 22 years of practice in DeKalb County, office on Church Street. We had the forensic report, the security footage, my recorded phone calls, and Tyler's banking records subpoenaed through a preliminary court order. Wanda laid out 2 paths. Criminal, file with the DA for elder financial abuse under Georgia Code Section 30-5-8 and forgery under Section 16-9-1. Civil, pursue Tyler separately for the full amount plus damages. We chose both. I asked Wanda to hold the criminal filing until after the funeral.
I wanted to give Jenna one last chance to come to me privately, to confess, to be my daughter before she became a defendant. She never did. Instead, she stood at that podium and read her invoice. Ray Okonkwo agreed to serve as expert witness if the case went to trial. His 14-page report, his testimony record of 47 prior cases, and his GBI credentials made him a wall no public defender was going to climb over. On November 18th, 2 days after the funeral, Detective Carla Simmons of the DeKalb County Police Department knocked on Jenna's apartment door in Marietta. But the true reveal had already happened, at the podium in front of 74 witnesses under the stained glass window depicting the Good Shepherd. When I placed that single printed bank security still on the podium, face up, it landed on top of Jenna's itemized list of grievances, like a period at the end of a sentence. The image was grainy but unmistakable. Jenna, in the olive green jacket she'd bought from Zara that week, leaning over the counter at First National, sliding a withdrawal slip to the teller. The timestamp printed in white block letters at the bottom right corner. 2:47 p.m., October 9th, 2024. Jenna saw it. Her rehearsed composure cracked like a windshield hit by a bird strike. Her lips parted. Her hand reached for the paper, but Patricia was already there, collecting it. 3 people in the congregation later told Patricia they saw Jenna's face go white. One of them, Mrs. Alma Fredericks, Mom's neighbor of 30 years, said she knew right then that, whatever was on that paper, that girl had done something she couldn't take back. After the service, in the church parking lot, Jenna grabbed my arm. Her fingers dug into my sleeve. Tyler was already in the car, engine running. "What was that? What did you put up there?" "You know exactly what it is, Jenna." "Daddy, I can explain." "You can explain it to Wanda Osei. She's the attorney handling your grandmother's estate. And to Detective Simmons. She'll be in touch." I got into my car. Patricia was already in the passenger seat, the printout in a manila folder on her lap. Neither of us spoke for the first 2 miles. Then Patricia said, "She looked just like Dorothy when she was scared." I gripped the steering wheel and kept driving. On December 4th, 2024, the DeKalb County District Attorney's Office formally charged Jenna Calloway with 1 count of elder financial abuse under Georgia Section 30-5-8 and 1 count of first-degree forgery under Section 16-9-1. Elder financial abuse carries up to 20 years. Forgery carries 1 to 10.
Jenna posted bail at $15,000. Tyler's mother co-signed. In the civil case, Tyler Briggs was served on December 12th. Ray Okonkwo's forensic report, the Wells Fargo deposit records, and the bank security footage formed an airtight package. Tyler's attorney negotiated a civil judgment of $41,200. The original $38,700 plus $2,500 in legal fees and statutory interest. Tyler had no assets to seize. A wage garnishment order was issued against his Anytime Fitness salary. He'll be paying that back for years. Good. First National Bank flagged the teller who processed the transaction for retraining. Gerald Hayes, the branch manager, issued a formal apology letter to the Callaway estate. Patricia filed it with the rest of the paperwork. In January 2025, Jenna sent me a 4-page handwritten letter. She apologized. Partially. She blamed Tyler for the idea. She blamed Denise for the anger. She asked me to drop the charges. I read the letter twice, folded it, placed it in the same drawer where I kept every birthday card I'd ever mailed Jenna. A stack of 23 envelopes, some opened, most not. I did not respond. I told Patricia, I love her, but I can't protect her from this. Mom wouldn't have wanted me to. Patricia nodded. She didn't argue. She'd known Dorothy longer than anyone. May 2025, 6 months later. A Saturday morning, early, when the dew is still on the grass at East Lawn Cemetery. I kneel at Dorothy May Callaway's headstone. Gray granite, simple, the way she wanted it. I'm wearing jeans and a faded Delta polo from the 2012 company picnic. Beside me is a bag of potting soil and a tray of 6 knockout red rose bushes from Pike Nurseries on La Vista Road. I dig with a hand trowel. The soil is Georgia clay, dense and red under the topsoil. I plant each bush carefully, spacing them the way Mom taught me when I was 9. 18 inches apart, roots fanned out, crown at soil level. She would have corrected my technique. She would have said I was packing the soil too tight. She would have been right. The roses she never got to finish pruning are blooming now, at her feet, planted by the son who came home. Some debts are real. Some are invented by people who never learned the difference between absence and abandonment. My mother knew which was which. And in the end, so did a bank camera at 2:47 in the afternoon.